Morning, Hawks. Good to see you on this rainy Sunday morning. Well, I guess it's not really morning anymore, is it? But I'm kind of losing track of time. Uh, anyway, um, best thing to do on a rainy Sunday is to read. At least that's the best thing to do, in my opinion. Um, so, I'm going to talk to you about another book today. And like some of the other books, or the last book that I did, I don't actually have a physical copy of it because students have it or it's at school. And the book I want to talk about today is called Slay by Brittany Morris. And this book just came out in the fall of 2019, so it's relatively new. And I've already had one student read it so far, and I think she enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well, although there were parts of it that I liked better than others. So I'll just start with like kind of the general premise of the story, and that is that it surrounds around a 17-year-old high school senior named Kira Johnson. And by day, she goes to school at Jefferson Academy, and she is one of only a couple of black kids at her school. And she's pretty successful, and she's an honor student. She tutors math, so she's really involved in all of that academic stuff at her school. And she also has a boyfriend whose name is Malcolm. And he and their other friend are only like 3 black kids in the whole school. Um, so she's a pretty typical life by day, but in her personal life, and this is really private, not even her friends or her boyfriend know about it, she is this gamer and coder. And she's found kind of as a young black person, being part of gaming culture and gaming community can be really negative. There's a lot of racism and homophobia, and Islamophobia and all of that stuff in the gaming communities that she has been in contact with. And so she decides to create this online gaming community for the black community. And it's super successful, and nobody knows about her life. And then everything kind of gets a little bit tricky when an incident happens, and a teen is murdered in Kansas City over dispute in the Slay world. And I should say that the world that she's created, this online community, is called Slay. And that's kind of the part where I was like, iffy on, just because I'm not a gamer. I'm not really privy to that culture. But if you like gaming and you're into that kind of thing, you might really like this book. The parts that I liked about it, not surprisingly, were the fact that it dealt with race and power and privilege and how all of that stuff comes into play in real life, and then also in the online community, which, if you've been in my classes, you know that we often talk about this idea of how it's not obviously acceptable to be homophobic or racist or all of those things in public, but when people get on the internet, oftentimes they feel like they have some anonymity, and they're able to say and do things on the internet that they wouldn't necessarily do in real life. So there's lots of stuff kind of about that in the book, and talking about how people of color are treated unfairly on the internet. So I really liked that part. I liked that she was obviously a strong female protagonist, a person of color, so it was cool to read a story from the perspective of someone whose life I don't understand, right? That's one of the best things about reading books, is being able to put yourself into the experiences and lives of people that are different from us. And that's kind of how we can learn all about new people and new perspectives. So I really did like that part about it. There was some relationship stuff in here too that was pretty good. A relationship with her boyfriend was kind of toxic, and so I liked the exploration of that as well. So what else can I say about this book? Once this whole thing happens with the kid being killed in Kansas City, and it all kind of blows up, and the community is kind of labeled as this like negative thing. Kira really has to wrestle with that because she's created this online slate community as a place for people of color to feel welcome and comfortable and have a place of their own. So that comes into question as well. Overall, I really liked this book. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a cool idea that I hadn't really seen before. Also, the cover is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's really kind of a fun, exciting kind of cover. Anyway, I haven't really looked on the Sora app. I can take a quick look right now and see if it's something that is available to you guys. Let's just see here. Oh, perfect. Look it's right on there, and nobody has it. So that means that you could go on the Sora app right now and borrow it. So if you decide that you want to read this, please let me know if you do read it, and let me know what you think about it. And like I said, people are kind of, I think, maybe nervous or shy about recording themselves. And I'm not gonna lie, that was me. This is my third book tuck, and I feel more comfortable with it now than I did before, obviously. But if you can kind of push yourself and get yourself to do something new and try something new, I really encourage you to do it because it's actually pretty fun. And I'd really actually like to hear what you guys think about the books that you're reading. And even if that's just a book that you're reading right now for my class, either in my grade 9 class or my grade 9 academic class, and you're reading The Hate You Give as a core novel, or if you're in my grade 9 applied class and you're hopefully reading your book club book, kind of let me know what you think about that. And if you're in my ELS class, hopefully you're still reading your independent reading book, and you could potentially share some stuff about that as well. So I would really love to hear from you guys. And again, I don't know what's happening coming up with this next week. But we're just waiting on kind of decisions to be made about how we're going to move forward. But until now, I would just say keep reading. You got lots of time to do that. So it'd be a good use of your time to just read and relax and hang out with your family. And just know that all of your teachers are really missing you, and I really wish they could be in the classroom with you. And until we can be together again, just know that I'm thinking about you and that I can't wait to see you. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you then.